Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
But it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
What's up?
Siamese twins.
Bloody fucking hell.
Sir George.
Screw you. You have no sense of humor.
You just disappear into this abyss of ice. Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Almost gonna laugh.
They don't give a damn.
Expert analysis right there. Trying to grow the game.
Shut up, dude.
Screw you.
Half the man I am.
You number one.
5 Super Bowls.
Sir George.
You're being a jerk.
I got a big ass.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Take your ass and be a PE all-star. I'm tired of talking to you. You're being a jerk.
It drives me nuts. But it drives me nuts.
What's up?
Siamese twins.
Sir George.
Bloody fucking hell.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Bullshit. You're getting too deep into this.
One of the Kardashians' asses. Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Take your ass and be a PE all-star.
It's not to protect your fucking teeth.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich. You just disappear into this abyss of ice. Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Expert analysis right there.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight. Shut up, dude. 5 Super Bowls.
You number one.
How do you like me now?
They don't give a damn.
I'm tired of talking to you.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Trying to grow the game.
Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
What's up?
Siamese twins.
Sir George.
He's old.
Who's ready to dance?
What's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Damn.
That's not what I meant. That is just off the wall bad.
He was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
Cowboys a shit team.
You number one, Jared. Number one. Sir George.
Trying to grow the game.
Shut up, dude.
Talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich.
They're playing with sticks and pop all the time.
Bullshit.
They don't give a damn.
I can't even bullshit y'all. Expert analysis right there.
You're almost gonna laugh.
So if you don't like it, screw you. You have no sense of humor.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you!
Whoa, had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, why they copy what I wrote? Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone, cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise they ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
Well, you're being a jerk.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Siamese twins.
Siamese. What did you say? Siamese twins.
But no.
Oh God, I just got what you were saying. That's not what I meant. Oh man, that is just off the wall bad.
He was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit.
Or, hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just sold Jerry a joke. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. Your number one, Jerry. Number one.
No nudity on this show. We may drop an MFer once in a while, but we are not going nude. Good Lord. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
That's a lot of
take
cover.
a lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Is that so I can open it up when I need to go? You know,
Hey, you're getting too deep into this.
No.
Rivalries make sports great, but they
Yes.
got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird. If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE all-star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight. What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ice. Somehow he talked about buttholes and made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich.
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there.
Trying to grow the game, man. Global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
I've ridden the Eye of London. I've also ridden the butthole of London. You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
I don't ever want to see you ever again. You've been absolutely atrocious.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, folks. Welcome in. The self-proclaimed best in the podcast game is back tonight, live on this beautiful Wednesday night. Enjoy it now because the cold is coming. Going to be a little chilly at the end of this week. But if you haven't tuned in before, I am Casey, the Remix Schedule, the old man, the bald and the beautiful, my father, the one who helped create a legend, Eddie, the original Schedule. Say hello to the people, Pops.
Hello to the people, Pop.
And he's also quite literal, as you can tell. So, all right. Well, before we get to the rundown, for those who haven't tuned in before, we always start the show with a joke. The old man proves every week why we are not comedians, and he hasn't got me to laugh in almost 2 years. So, but he might get you to laugh. You just might be entertained by this. All right. Our guest on the show last week, it looked like he laughed a little bit. So you ended up getting Delvin. And my wife always laughs at these corny jokes. So is what it is. But go ahead. Bless us with your comedy lack of genius.
Lack of genius. I'd say it's an overabundance of genius. That's why you don't get it.
You just Googled your joke. You didn't even come up with it.
I did not Google. I did not Google my googly joke. All right, it's a sports one. Where do basketball players go when they need a new uniform?
You've already done this one.
Have I?
Yes. Better Google
Well,
it.
you know the answer?
I don't remember, but I remember you doing this one because you're like, you're a basketball coach. You should get this one. And I'm like, it was something ridiculous. But you can go ahead and say the punchline.
They go to New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey. Yeah, I remember that.
New Jersey. You know why pigs can't play soccer?
Why I can't play soccer?
No, I said pigs. Unless you're a pig.
Well, no.
Because they always hog the ball. There you go.
Yes, you could say that about any sport.
You know what you call a belt made out of watches?
No, I don't.
What you're doing right now. A waste of time.
Yeah. All right, folks. That's enough jokes. Hey, I made a rhyme there. Not even on purpose either. Look at there.
I'm just trying to tell some jokes, kind of like you when you say Josh Allen's going to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, you know we're gonna get into that tonight, but let's go through the show rundown. Let the people know what they're in for. Of course, we're gonna update what's the latest on the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator search. Who have they interviewed? Who might they bring in? Who should they bring in? That is the big question. Then we'll get lost in our NFL roundabout and a quick picks with Pops. I didn't even do necessarily a graphic for that because it's only 2 games coming up. And then we're going to get a little bit into the college football championship game, Indiana, Miami. things that stood out to us, questions we might still have. Then a little Major League Baseball on the show. Little Major League Baseball. Is the Major League Baseball in trouble? Then we got some sports pet peeves, one of our favorite segments. And then we got 2 new segments tonight. We got Shut Up, Dude, which you do it better. It's I named it after you. You can hear it many times.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, there it is right there. And then Whatever Happened To. We're going to look at a player who was, in different sports league this year. This one is going to be in the NFL. See if you can guess the player before we get to him. Before he was a Jacksonville Jaguar, predominantly known, that went to UCLA. So throw your guesses in the comments. See if you can guess who we're going to talk about and Whatever Happened To. And then we got our randoms, tidbits, and the revealing of the whiskey of the week. As always, got the cancer here. If you guess the whiskey of the week on your first try, I will personally send you a bottle of what's in this, or send you a gift card to buy a bottle. Hopefully you would take a picture and tweet at us or whatnot. So yeah, whiskey of the week. It is quite tasty. So all right, let's get into it. Dallas Cowboys. I don't think we're going to be on this one very long, but the live update of the Dallas Cowboy defensive coordinator search is there is no update. They have not hired anybody. Breaking news right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
You need a soundbite for that.
But I will say they've interviewed 3 in person, 1 virtual, because 1 is on the Broncos staff. So he's a little busy right now, cheating the Bills out of a berth in the AFC Championship game, living in the basking of that. Actually, he didn't cheat them. The refs cheated him. We'll get into that later. Let's let that simmer under the surface for a little bit. But they've interviewed Christian Parker from the Packers, Durante Jones from the Vikings, and Gannon, the former head coach of the Cardinals, and Jim Leonard from the Broncos. Do any of these 4 guys they've interviewed move the needle for you?
No. I'm going to say no. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not excited about any of them, to be honest with you. I think Gannon might be intriguing, but, retreading old head coaches, not. We just did that with Eberflus.
Well, your problem with
your
Gannon
sounds like something you catch in the wintertime. Eberflus.
Yeah, the problem with Gannon is he's an Eberflus disciple. So I don't know if I want to revisit that.
He's out. He's out.
I don't like that at all. I like the Jim Leonard one from the Broncos. And, I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's going to be a head coach, especially with the Bills firing McDermott. But, I think if the Cowboys really want to turn something around and really take care of business, they need to hire the best guy on the market. And unbeknownst to my opinion, the consensus pick of that is Brian Flores, who they interviewed his assistant for the job, but they didn't interview Brian Flores. Well, kind of odd since he was at the Vikings. So, I think most people think if the Cowboys bring in Flores, that would make a world of difference. And it probably will if you watch the Vikings defense this year, especially when they played the Cowboys. So, So it's but the rest of them, I mean, I think they hit on Shoddy, so I guess you could give them the benefit of the doubt right now, but I don't know.
No. You can't give them the benefit of the doubt. They brought in Eberflus. So, no. And let's think of the defensive coordinators they brought in since Dan Quinn left.
Well, it's only been 2.
That's 2. And they weren't able to do anything. So, nope. I don't. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's going to have to be proven, and it needs to be. And personally, I think it needs to be a young guy. It needs to be a younger guy and not a retread. And you might even want to go start looking at some of these college coaches that had some decent defenses during the playoffs.
Are you throwing out Miami's D coordinator? Is that what you're throwing out there?
He was that defense was pretty good.
Or Indiana's defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I don't even know that guy's name. But yeah, I mean, look, we'll get to that in a little bit. But obviously, those guys were able to do something with something more. Indiana so than Miami were able to make a defense out of players that were not necessarily 5-star, 4-star players. So
yeah, we'll definitely get into that a little later. So, but there's an interesting opinion that I want to get, and that is, I heard he's back in the States with you in your undisclosed location. Or am I misinformed?
Yeah, he's here.
Is Sir George's opinion on the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator search. So you go get him. He's probably eating or doing something, probably drinking a pint or something of that nature. But yeah, we'll as Sir George comes back to the show, it's going to be interesting. We're going to get a little more into how the coaches are going to fall in the league. But obviously we skew towards the Dallas market. So I think this is a massively important hire when it comes to the Cowboys and the defensive coordinator, because you've seen what coaching in certain places can do and turn around. It's just when you have those guys believing they can outplay their talent. And I think a guy like, I still like Al Harris, even though even Al has said he is more of a tactician teacher versus a, how did he word it? More of a system, like implementing guy. He likes teaching defensive backs. So I think Al Harris is great, but if he's not interested, he's not interested. So, but I'm interested to get our long lost cousin Sir George's opinion on this, because from a British perspective, that's going to be fun. And I just realized I didn't have this. But all right. Well, he is searching forever for Sir George. So if you're watching the show, y'all got to put in the comments up here live. Throw something in the comments, and let's get in on the show, get on the dialogue. All right. I think my man is back. Sir George.
You can't see my head.
Yeah, I don't know why your hat is not popping up. Never had that issue.
There it is.
You're just going to have to lean forward.
Closer,
for the folks who don't know Sir George, he is part of the King's Guard. Got a new jacket this week, Sir George.
Yes, this is red. Let me see if I can. Would you come help me with this? Bloody, you do this. I don't. We can't see my hat. Can we just get rid of that background maybe, and just go to? Does the blur work?
There you go. There it is.
That works. Okay.
That'll work. Well, Sir George, it's been a minute. How the hell are you?
I'm too good. It took a while to find this place. He's in a freaking RV. We don't have those things over in Britain. It's because our roads are too small. So there's no RVs. This is weird. It's like a house on wheels.
That is exactly what it is, Sir George.
So why do they call it a recreation vehicle? Because you can't really recreate inside because it's more like sleeping, eating, and shitting. That's about all you do.
Going
here.
out, you like camping is a recreational like activity. So that's
Wouldn't that be a camping vehicle then? It's not a recreational vehicle.
it's recreational. But Sir George, the Dallas Cowboys. This is year 2 of you watching the team. Obviously, not 2 successful years. I think you're a little more familiar on now. Some of your ideas you've proposed before really haven't really been too hot on, like the Cowboys should just draft soccer players. I don't think that's a good strategy. But in this defensive coordinator search to coordinate the defense of the Dallas Cowboys, you've been watching them 2 years. Where do you think they need to go?
I think they need to bring in The Rock. The Rock needs to be the defensive coordinator. Have you seen him in the wrestling ring? And then in Jumanji. In Jumanji, he just mowed and take people out. So it should be The Rock. The Rock should be your defensive coordinator. Because he could just punch people and make them do what they're supposed to.
What? Just so he can punch people to get them to do what they do? That's why you want The Rock?
Yes. Or he just looks at him with the eyebrow thing. You know, they would be scared of him. They would do what he wants. You know, he's a big guy. He looks like a defense. Didn't he play football? He should have played football.
He did. He played football at Miami.
Well, there you go. See, Miami's good, so he's good. That's exactly what you need to do. You need to bring in The Rock. The Rock needs to be your defensive coordinator because then he could, like I said, I think it would be a great thing. And then, you know, he could always get on the microphone and you know, do what he does. And the next thing you know, you've got Jumanji happening and these big rhinos are on defense running over people. So I think that's the way you go. You use The Rock. That's my recommendation, is The Rock.
That's a very interesting take there, Sir George. I'm not sure that one's going to work out. He owns a big piece of WWE. He's a little busy. I don't think he's got time to be the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. So,
well, you got to do something. You got to think out of the box. Is what you got to do. You know, you've got your box of crumpets over here, and then you've got another box of biscuits over here. Well, for defense, you need a box of crumpets because crumpets are a lot better than just a plain old biscuit. Because a biscuit is kind of like biting into some cardboard, whereas a crumpet has a little bit of taste to it. So you definitely want the box of crumpets, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going with that.
I'm trying to figure out this analogy you got coming up here. All the viewers are lost. I'm lost. You're lost. Is Sir George from London because they have a lot of games in London. Do you have any picks? You know, they can be for the Super Bowl.
Any pick?
Yeah. Do you want to pick any teams that are going to represent each conference in the Super Bowl?
You mean out of the ones you got left, or just anything for the future?
Well, you got the Patriots versus the Broncos, and then you have I'm losing my mind here. The Seahawks versus the Rams.
Well, first off, I'm not picking the Patriots because they dress like those bloody patriots who fought the British during the Revolutionary War, which you cheated. You cheated because you used Indians on your bloody armies, which was not fair. We did not bring in, and then you took the French and you used the French too, so you cheated. I want you to know that. That's the only reason you are not part of the British colony is because you cheated. So,
it didn't help you're dressed in red, made you easy targets.
Well, I can't really argue that. That place was like pretty stupid. But, so I'm not picking the Patriots. So I'm going to, but then again, my boy Bo Knickerbocker, Bo Nick, he's hurt, isn't he?
Yeah, his backup Stidham, who their head coach said is as good as anybody in the league.
Yes, I know. So that really blows.
So you're gonna have to pick the Patriots then.
Oh, I'm going to get fired for that because
America.
yeah, bloody Yank. All right, but
All right, so we got the Patriots. What about the Rams? Or I'm sorry, what about the Broncos and the? Sorry, crap, I'm all twisted up.
You
the Seahawks and Rams.
Me and I'm from London.
Yeah, the Seahawks and Rams. Who you got?
I have to go with. I like the Birds. I think the Birds are going to fly. The Seahawks. I think I just like that name, the Seahawks. It's a cool name instead of the Rams. Why they name their team after a pickup truck? Rams.
Well, it's after the ram, the bighorn sheep. It's not after a pickup truck. Pickup truck is named after the animal.
Yeah, well, I like the Seahawks, and I think the Seahawks are going to hawk down on the Patriots, and the Seahawks are going to be your champion.
So there you go, straight from the King's Guard. Sir George is picking the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. Sir George, we got to let you go. We appreciate your time. We'll have you on again here soon. But you have safe travels back to London, and we always appreciate you.
All right, I've got to get through this recreational vehicle that's
not. Sir George. Love Sir George. All right. We're going to go right into when the old man gets back. Sir George is going to bring him back here in a second. We're going to get into our NFL roundabout, talk about these playoff games. And 49ers, Seahawks, first one on the list. All right. Yeah, that was wow. That was a quick game. Welcome back. So right, 49ers.
George changed my background.
Oh, well. He did. His hat wasn't showing up on the screen with your other background.
Well, his hat. I think he hides something under that hat.
Probably something illegal, but we're not going to get into that. All right. NFL roundabout. 49ers, Seahawks last week. That game was over in 10 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, it was. But the thing is, the mass unit, it finally caught up to Frisco. They didn't have any other players. I mean, but now did I think they were going to get run out of the stadium like they did? No, because they should have been familiar with the Seahawks because they play them a couple times a year. But they got ran out of the stadium. And Sam Darnold, who is the one I'm with, unlike your boy, which we're getting to.
Oh, yeah. I got video evidence and everything for that. So, all right. Yeah. 49ers, you're right. The injury bug finally caught up to them. Ended up being a rout. But last time I checked, George Kittle, none of those guys play special teams. So that makes no excuse for the kickoff return. But Seattle is a tough place to play. They're loud. They're the second 12th man behind our Aggies.
They stole that bullshit.
So
they stole it.
But yeah, that was I think I stopped watching after the first quarter essentially. And then you got the Texas Patriots. Houston doesn't get it done again. As far as they lose in the first the divisional round every year with DeMeco Ryans at the helm. I know you watched it. Our entire family group chat was going insane with it. What'd you think of the Houston Texans falling short to the Pats who tried to give the game away at multiple times?
I said it tons of times during watching the game. Stroud is not right. Stroud has regressed. Even Troy Aikman said it. He has regressed. He has not gotten better since his rookie year. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I like him. I think he's a good kid. But the problem is he continues to get. I mean, some of the things he was doing, it's just like, dude, hold the ball. Don't just try to flip it out to someone else. And it just, I feel bad for him. But, and granted, he has no offensive line. They've got to do something about the offensive line during this offseason. That has to be priority number one. As long as they're keeping this defense together. Because the defense, I couldn't imagine being on the sideline as one of these defenders because they were doing everything they could to win that football game. They were bringing it constantly, and may have to work for that. But when your offense is just giving the ball back over and over and over, they're going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to really look at Stroud this offseason, get him an offensive line, and just see if he can get it right. Because something just wasn't right, and it hasn't been for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's at a certain point, if you're Houston, you got to think this is who he is. You got a bigger sample size of him. He had a great rookie year for a rookie. Let's not say he set the world on fire when it comes to just top-level quarterback play. But he had a great rookie year, and ever since then, this is kind of what you got. Yes, a better offensive line would help, which you traded away one of the better left tackles in the league, ironically, if you're the Houston Texans. And so, Stroud, it wasn't just that he didn't look – just some of the decisions, that first throw, the pick six, or one of the first throws. I mean, it was obvious the guy was there. So I think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option, and they're going to say, prove it to us, or we're not going to sign you long term. Because we've already had this discussion. Do you give Stroud $50-60 million a year? And I'm like, no. And I know,
at this point.
And I know some people are kind of talking about here's the rumor mill on the X or on the Twitter is Stroud and a few first-round picks for Joe Burrow. And I'm like, Cincinnati ain't making that deal? You crazy.
Nope.
Ain't no way. So there's a thing called a no-trade list in your organization, and Joe Burrow is on that for Cincinnati. There's no way that happened. But 4 picks in the first half for C.J. Stroud, and it wasn't like Drake May lit it up. He had 179 yards. He did have 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. But the Patriots got it done. And, Mike Vrabel goes back, takes over a team that was 3-14 and turned around being 14-3. They're going to the AFC Championship game. And I'm not going to say this is a dynastic turnaround that the Patriots are going to turn into what they were with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But I will say the AFC, they're a young team. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun one. So appreciate it, Marcus. We're doing our best right here. All right. Well, I'm saving that one for last. I'm going to be honest. Rams-Bears, probably the most entertaining game of the weekend. I'm going to say that. And I almost had to eat crow because I told you I'm never going to believe in a quarterback who paints his nails. I'm just not going to ever pick him. And he almost did it. He almost brought him back. Well, he brought him back tie the game, which that might be one of the top 5 throws I've ever seen in the NFL. That was insane. Just insane.
Yes.
So
yeah, and
Rams survived.
They're going to be a team to be reckoned with. They're going to get better. And, first year head coach, right? So that's pretty good for the first year. And unfortunately, that's turning up the notch on all these new coaches that'll be coming in. That why can't you do with these guys who have been there a year, like Vrabel and Johnson, and what they're doing? They're causing that meter of waiting a year or two to kind of that timeline to move backward. Whereas now we need to see something in the first year. We should be in the playoffs. We should be winning games because it's with Harbaugh and going to the Giants. He's going to be expected to be in the playoffs next year, or the fans are going to lose their damn mind.
Yeah, we're going to get into the coaching carousel here in a minute. But you make a point on the coaches. I think there's something with Vrabel and Ben Johnson who they had really good quarterbacks. Like I say, I'm never going to pick Caleb Williams, but the talent is undeniable. And you put that mind, the offensive genius that is Ben Johnson with that talent, it's going to be interesting. But I think you saw this with the the Commanders last year. Jaden Daniels, they got to the AFC Championship game, I do believe, in Washington last year. And, all it takes is an injury. It takes personnel getting older. So they didn't even make the playoffs. Didn't even sniff competing for the division in a lackluster NFC East overall. So you just never know year to year. You can project, you hope, but it'll be interesting if Chicago can sustain that. But that throw, he retreated 25 yards and just threw it up, and wasn't egregious. I wouldn't have been upset if it would have been called offensive pass interference. But nothing wrong with demanding a franchise to win. We've been demanding that around Dallas for 30 effing years, Marcus, and it ain't working. Oh, man. You don't think Cleveland's demanding the win? Anyways. But, all right. All right, let's get to it. Because I know you waited all game. I didn't hear shit from you during the entire Bills game until the final result. And that's what pissed me off more than anything. Because you were just waiting for them to lose. You were just like, I got you. I got you.
What did I tell you?
This game was stolen.
I told you so.
It was stolen.
Oh, wait, let me bring on your Josh song. Always and forever.
It was stolen, and I'm going to give you evidence here in a
Stolen?
second. Yes.
Stolen?
Two. All right, I'm going to say one because the last PI, that was an emotional tweet. The last pass interference was legitimate. The first one was not. He didn't touch that dude. And the missed pass interference on Cooks in the end zone. Okay? That was baloney. All right? So, here's what I got for you. I'm going to let you watch this. This is last year, and they ruled it a catch.
Loads it up.
Not that one.
First down and goal. Oh, Tony, I know you're not going to agree with this one.
Well, I want to see. There's the hand. The white glove has to have possession of that. So right there, he doesn't get the left, and that ball hits. And I could see it because you can't completely say no, but that ball hits pretty. I don't know if you have possession for it.
So they ruled that a catch by Xavier Worthy. To me, that looks like an interception because he has possession. So now let's look at the angle that they did not show on the television replay.
That was courtesy of CBS Sports, by the way.
Yeah.
Loads it up. Deep ball down the field. He's got Cooks.
Ball is
That is catch, possession, down by contact.
I do not agree.
It's only because it's the Bills you don't agree. If that was the Cowboys, you'd be saying it's a catch.
I'm not no big fan of Sean Payton and the Broncos, but the bottom line is that was an interception.
No, it wasn't. He had possession.
When they went to the ground, the defender had the ball.
All ties. That is a tie ball. All ties go to the offense.
That was not a tie.
Yes,
a tie
it was.
Means
You want me to play it again? I'll play it again.
They are both holding the ball.
Which, if they're both holding the ball,
clear that the defender
pulls it out after he's down by
as
contact.
they hit the ground.
He pulled it out after he's down by contact already. His knee is down. He has already established possession. He's down. That's a catch. You're never going to convince me otherwise. That is a catch. Just like
and forever.
This has nothing to do with Josh Allen. This has to do with they got hosed. Just like they got hosed by the Chiefs in that call, calling it a catch when it clearly wasn't.
So what you're saying is it's all about the hose. They continue to get hosed.
I mean,
Josh Allen gets hosed. He likes to get hosed.
Boats and hose. But yeah,
he can't win the big one. How many times do I have to say it? Whether he gets hosed, whether he gets injured, whatever it is. Josh,
here's
quarterback, one of the best in the league, but he can't win the big one. Just like Lamar Jackson, multiple MVPs, but they can't finish the deal.
So here's the thing that I hate your argument on this, and you always revert to this baloney, because only one quarterback a year wins the Super Bowl. So every year, if you haven't won it before, you under your criteria is they all can't get it done. So according to you,
did their ownership agree with me?
According to you, the only quarterback that has a chance to win is
their
Matthew
ownership
Stafford.
Agree with me? Did they fire somebody because they can't win it?
Yes, they fired their head coach.
Yes.
Which I think was
I
a
rest
mistake.
my case. The state rests.
The state can rest all they want, but then I believe the defense goes after the prosecution. Thank you very much. So they made a mistake firing Sean McDermott.
You just can't handle the truth. Josh can't win the big one.
According to you, every quarterback that hasn't won a big one can't win a big one.
MVP, leading passer, leading touchdowns. You use words like Super Bowl, championships. We use words like muffed, hosed, referees. You spent a lifetime saying this man should be there. But all I say is you should say he got you as far as he gets you. Just say thank you and go on your way.
No, I will not, because I was going back and forth with our former show on our last network, the Crew Sports Talk, and they see it through Denver's eyes. Of course they do. And they were all like, you really think that Buffalo deserved to win that? He had 5 turnovers. And I go, well, your team led them back in the game with 5 turnovers. And that's supposed to be one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the league. And Josh Allen brought them back, tied it up, and took that team damn near by himself into overtime. Now, I will admit to you this. When it gets to overtime, Josh has a problem, because I believe he's 0-7 in overtime in regular season and playoffs. Now, some of those were when you didn't get a chance to respond, but it's still that's 7 times. That's an issue. I will say that, but I think I don't know where they go for their head coach. You know, I would have thought John Harbaugh would have been a good fit up there, to be honest with you. But he's in.
Want to go up there?
He's in. It's the best job.
It is not the best job.
What's a better opening right now than the Buffalo Bills?
I'm going to say the Giants were the best opening because, hear me out, you don't have as high expectations going in as the Bills coach. Because the Bills, because they are considered to have the best player in the league, and they just fired a coach because he gets the playoffs, had a winning record, but he can't win the Super Bowl. You would be expected to come in, whoever this coach is that comes into the Bills, he's not, they don't want him to just win games. They don't just want him to get playoffs. You better win the damn Super Bowl next year, period. So the Giants, to me, makes more sense because he's going to get a little bit more leeway. If they make the playoffs next year in New York with Harbaugh, the fan base will be happy with that because they've been terrible. The Bills have been on the cusp, and now they're saying it was the coach's fault that they're not getting to the Super Bowl. So that new coach is going to have immense pressure on him.
Oh, 100%. He's going to have a lot of pressure, but you said every first-year coach is going to have a massive amount of pressure anyway because of guys like Vrabel and Ben Johnson. I would rather have that pressure with a top a top 5 player, not even quarterback, top 5 player in the league in Josh Allen. And I'm going to tell you, you know who I think is going to end up in a Buffalo Bill jersey is A.J. Brown.
Does AJ really want to go play in Buffalo?
He doesn't want to be in Philly, and he wants to. No. He wants to win. So I think that would be a marriage made in heaven. But I'm just interested who they're going to pick as their coach because it's not just who you let go; it's always who can be better. You know, and so
it's a Super Bowl or bust for whoever this coach is.
I don't disagree with you.
Or bust.
I don't disagree with you. I think the Chiefs have permanently taken a step back. I think Broncos are going to have to start paying guys eventually. We'll see what the Ravens do, whoever their new coach is, and see if they can redo that. And I think the Texans they've reached their ceiling with C.J. Stroud at quarterback and DeMeco Ryans as their head coach. So that's going to be interesting in itself. So I still think it's plenty open for the Bills. And I think the AFC, and then you got to deal with the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots are young as well, but it's going to be interesting on what they do and what they decide to do. And, there was someone else who didn't win it in their first 8 years too, by the way. His name was Peyton Manning. So you don't have to win a Super Bowl.
Peyton Manning had to leave his team.
No, he didn't. He won one with the Colts, dude.
Did he win one with the Colts?
Yes. He won 2 Super Bowls, one with the Colts, one with the Broncos.
Yeah, I guess he did. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
He had a great coach.
And who was that?
That's Dungy.
I agree. All right, so we just talked about McDermott getting fired. The Giants hire Harbaugh. As a Cowboys fan, I did not want to see that. That was worst case scenario for the Cowboys. The Giants bringing in John Harbaugh. Yeah, that's not good for us. Smart move by the Giants. It's the first one they've made in a long time. And we've kind of already talked about that. But your Chargers got a new offensive coordinator. What'd you think about that?
I thought so much about it, I don't even know who it is.
Mike McDaniel, Mr. Jogger Pants.
Oh, you know what? Here's my thing about this. There are certain guys that are good coaches, good head coaches, and then there's certain guys who should stay a coordinator.
I knew you were going to say this.
Stay a coordinator. So we will see. And of course, he fits a lot better in LA wearing his little capri pants. So, he's like a little nerd on the side. He doesn't look like a football coach. He looks like a little nerd. So let the little nerd go out there, come up with some good plays, just like Henry Winkler from The Waterboy. Get in your freaking green notebook and start making up some plays, and let's get this shit back on the road.
Well, the funny part about it is I think he was like number 1 on the Browns list. So he goes to interviews at the Browns, and then he's like, nah, I ain't touching the Browns. I'd rather be an offensive coordinator in Los Angeles.
Who wants the Browns job?
Someone's got to take it.
That man. Huh?
Listen, I'll say this. The Browns, you already have half your team established at a very high level with the defense. There's one position you got to figure out, and it's quarterback. It's one position.
How many years have the Browns been saying that?
I'm going to say this is the best defense the Browns have ever had. So they have solid tight ends, solid receivers. Quarterback and running back need to be figured out, along with some offensive line issues. But that's not strange to any other team, to be honest. But I think the Browns could be a sneaky, a dark horse good job if you figure out the quarterback position. And maybe it's Simpson from Alabama with your first pick, because Mendoza's not going to be there, and old boy from Oregon went back to Oregon. So interesting there.
Shador for starting the season. You don't think they're going to start with Shador?
I think it just depends on the coach they hire. I mean, you don't have a lot invested. As a new coach, you're not tied to him. He's a 5th-round pick. You can cut him, move on from him if you want. If you're one of the people who evaluated him coming out of the draft and you're like, no, he's not, not that good, just kind of like I did. Yeah, maybe you move on from him. But I think the number 1 pick from last year, Cam Ward, they did not get a winner in Tennessee as far as the right coach to help him develop. They hired Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator from the 49ers, former Jets head coach. And I love Saleh as a D coordinator. And if you have an established veteran offensive team, I think he's solid for you. Not a young second-year quarterback trying to survive life, essentially, in Tennessee. I think that's a bad move. What did you think?
Yes, it's a bad move. He's already proven he can't develop quarterback. I mean,
hashtag Zach Wilson.
Yeah, that kind of baffled me that they did that, because you need someone to come in and get this quarterback going. And this is not the guy for it. He's a defensive mind, which he's proved when he was with the Jets. Jets, when he was there, had decent defense, but they could never get the quarterback situation straightened out. So it's already been proven that he can't do this. So I'm not sold on that. And I don't think he's going to last, just because unless they bring in somebody who can coach this quarterback and get him where he needs to be, Tennessee, unfortunately, is looking at another couple of years of being in the basement.
Yeah, I think they're going to ruin Cam Ward. I think they're going to take him and his career. It's not going to be the right system. It's not going to be the right situation. We know that's highly important for young quarterbacks. I think it's going to be rough. And Cam Ward may be a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield type. He goes to another place and he blossoms. Essentially, Falcons hire Stefanski, the Browns coach that they fired. I can take it or leave that one. I wasn't impressed with it. I know he's 2-time coach of the year.
Tweet from Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I did see his tweet saying, "Hey, someone saying that he never had a quarterback in Cleveland, and Mayfield was like, yeah, you shipped me off like a piece of garbage." And yeah, that's going to be entertaining, especially the first time they play. And then the Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator from the Packers. That doesn't move the needle. I think they just hired a guy. maybe I'm wrong on that, but is what it is. So those last two, I don't think
you're running out of. I mean, you're really running out of candidates unless someone comes out of one of these big name college schools.
Well, you know who the rumor for Buffalo is? People are trying to link Belichick to Buffalo.
I think Belichick has proven his time has passed. I was big on Belichick when he left the Patriots.
I know you wanted him in Dallas.
Well, yeah, but good gracious, look what he did in North Carolina. See, it goes to show that whole thing, that Jerry Seinfeld episode where the one guy discovers that if you don't think about sex or have sex or whatever, you can do everything because it's not on your mind. Hit home runs, all this stuff. And I think the problem with Bill Belichick is he robbed the cradle. And so it's hard to keep your mind on anything else when you rob the cradle like that. That's my theory of what's going on. I think his football days are gone, and I think it's bone chicken pow days are what he's worried about.
Well, I mean,
he's taking Cialis like it's Mentos.
You get names wrong like you get brand names wrong. It's Cialis. Oh man! All right. Well, AFC Championship game. Man. We have the Broncos led by Stidham and the good old New England Patriots. Let's go ahead and get our picks in. I'm picking New England. I think I will say this. I tweeted this out. I posted it in a lot of places. I think the biggest proof of saying that the Broncos got lucky and the Bills got hosed was Bo Nix's injury. That was karma saying you shouldn't have won. So they're not going to win this AFC Championship game.
Always and forever.
So I'm just telling you. I tweeted that out right after the game.
Sponsor break it off.
Say what?
Are we going to do a sponsor break it off?
Yeah, we're after the end of this segment before we get to college football. Holy shit. I got this. Let me run this. Let your producer produce.
It's been almost an hour.
Well, we got on a long subject. There's a lot going on in the NFL. So, anyways.
And I think we need a board operator.
Are you picking the Pats or what?
Yeah. How can I not pick the Pats? I mean,
okay, there we go.
Not playing.
NFC, Seahawks, Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
You're an idiot.
They got a better coach, the better quarterback, the better offense.
No, they do not have. They are not going to beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks are just too damn good. Sam, I'm taking it to the house. Donald is going to do this.
When has he ever took it to the house? According to your theory, out of these two quarterbacks, only one of them can win because he's won before, and that's Matthew Stafford. So you're going against your own damn theory. I just want to point that out.
What theory? No, that's your bullshit theory that you tried to come up with, saying only one quarterback wins, and Josh can't be one of them. And
you said that he only takes you so far, and that's every quarterback except when they win the Super Bowl. So, but Matthew Stafford has won a Super Bowl before. So as you did last week, you went 2-2, by the way, last week. Terrible in your picks. You lost the week again. I went 3-1. I will be 2-0 next week. And yeah. So all right.
What game did you miss? What game was it?
I missed the hose job that was the Broncos and Bills.
The hose.
So
you hoser?
Yep, boats and hose. That's what you had in Denver. All right, let's hear from our sponsor since we are coming up on an hour. Go ahead, roll it.
Meet Coachcraft AI, the leadership coaching builder with everything you need to scale your coaching. Powerful tools purpose-built for leadership coaches create impactful development experiences from day one. Design programs fast personalize at scale and keep every leader engaged and accountable. Automated insights, actionable check-ins, and smart content save hours while elevating outcomes. Grow your practice with repeatable systems, measurable progress, and a premium client experience. Whether you are a leader looking to develop your team or a seasoned leadership consultant, this app will help you get the paperwork done and concentrate on doing what you love the most, helping others. Level up your coaching today. Coachcraft AI turns your expertise into scalable, lasting impact.
Yes, and you can find that at easyleadership.com, and that's easy, E-Z, not spelled with an E-A-S-Y. It's easyleadership.com, Coachcraft AI. It helps you, like it says, level up your coaching experience with 90-day plans. You'll get an AI assistant to help you out. Check it out. It's brand new on the market. Everybody gets a 14-day free run of the entire program for signing up.
All right. Well, college football championship finally concluded this past Monday. Indiana pulls it off. The losingest. That's not even a word. But
No, you just made that shit up.
I did. But the worst football program in the history of Division I football does the unthinkable in 2026 and wins the college football playoff, wins a natty. That they're going to make movies about this. I already know that's coming. What a job Indiana did. Beats the U. I was so glad they put belt to Michael Irvin's ass and shut his ass up, even though he is a Cowboy, but he was getting very annoying as he was on the sideline yelling at the players. They weren't even paying him no attention. I thought that was hilarious. But what'd you think of the Hoosiers? There's going to be a new Hoosiers movie. I already know.
Well, I'm going to say Mendoza with that fourth down run was legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary.
That's going to be a statue.
I mean, yeah, he literally was on one leg when they had hit him numerous times, spun around on one leg, and then leaped into the end zone like freaking Superman. That was the coolest play. I mean, I can't think of anything except maybe going way back when
Elway,
Denver Broncos and John Elway did the helicopter into it. That's, this play it's legend, and Mendoza's going to go down as a legend. Now, when you talk about retiring numbers, yeah, retire that dude's number, because he just was Heisman Trophy. And just proved it. He, no matter how this game went, he stayed calm and cool. And that first hit in his chin, oh my God, that should have been a 15-yard penalty, if not a targeting freaking you're out of the game hit.
Yeah.
And they didn't. You talk about non-calls. This was the worst on both sides. It was the worst refereed game I have ever seen in my damn life. The referees were terrible.
I would agree with you. I would say when they had replacement refs in the NFL, that may have been the worst ever, but this was the worst college football officiating job I've ever seen. And I would agree with you. Mendoza seems to do better when he does get hit early in the game. If you watch his last couple games, it's just an impressive thing. Indiana, how many 5-star recruits they have on their roster? 0. You are correct, good sir. You want to know how many 4-stars they have? 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah,
7.
The rest were unheralded cast-offs, not, recruited by a lot of programs. And Cignetti, man, this was it might be one of the most remarkable coaching jobs in the history of football. Not just college football, but football, period. Now here comes the real challenge. You're losing your man, your quarterback, your Heisman winner. By the way, his brother in the transfer portal already committed to go somewhere else. And, can you sustain it at Indiana? That's the question, and I think that's the question anywhere that builds a program. I think a lot of people years ago had, can Oregon sustain excellence. Oregon wasn't a big football school until they were. Can Texas Tech sustain a competitive level that was in the college football playoff? Can A&M sustain playing at a high level to be in the college football playoff every year? So there's a lot of questions out there, but I think what this tells you is it can be done, and it can be done the right way, and you can catch lightning in a bottle. So I'm interested to see, is 2026 Indiana Hoosiers the 2011 Mavericks who caught lightning in a bottle and won a single championship, or are they the next powerhouse in college football? That's going to be fun to see and how it unfolds. So yeah. You good over there?
Hang on, I lost my. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I lost my sound for a minute because I kicked it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's like you said, there would probably be a movie out of this, but it also poses the question: if someone can do this with those types of players, remember how I said with the NFL, with these new coaches, the timeline has now been shortened for having success. You're going to have the same thing now in college because of what Indiana has done. You've got all this money that they're paying for all these players now. Well, you better win something with it, because there's a team who didn't have those types of players and just beat everybody, beat Ohio, beat all these teams that, So, and we have to admit, the Big Ten is now the power conference.
Yeah, they won the last three. I mean, they've, and I know they're about to be in discussions on expanding the playoff. The rumor is 16 is probably happening for sure. But I've heard the SEC wants to go to 24, like what I proposed to you, and that they would agree to go to 16 for 3 years, and then after 3 years, expand to 24 teams. So that gives every time for everyone to deal with their TV contracts and all that, adjust your schedule. Basically, they do away with the championship game, move the Army-Navy game up a weekend where the championship games used to take place, and then the week that was Army-Navy is the first round of the playoffs, is how the new schedule would work in that realm. And you just wouldn't have any championship games, which championship games weren't a thing until the early 90s anyway. So,
and they're irrelevant. They can actually hurt a team now. We've seen that.
Yeah. So, I will say Miami, heck of a run. They're the last team, I think, put in the college football playoff. One thing does irk me, about Miami and about a certain player, but I'm going to save that for sports pet peeves. Let's go in here. Another word from our sponsor, EasyLeadership.com, before we get into Major League Baseball.
Parents, help your student find their true path with the Berkman Career Assessment. Imagine if you had discovered your true passion right after high school. How much further along would you be in a fulfilling life? Now picture giving that gift to your student. The Berkman Career Assessment is designed to uncover the career paths that align with your student's unique personality, interests, and needs. Don't let them wander through years of uncertainty. Equip them with clarity and confidence to pursue a future where they thrive. Act now. Invest in their purpose with Berkman today at easyleadership.com or email us for a free career checkup.
easyleadership.com. Check it out. It's literally $150, basically a pair of shoes to help your child find their passion and get them aligned with the career when they go to college. How many times have you heard them say, I'm changing my major. This ain't what I wanted. Spend $60,000 down the drain. Spend less than $200 and get your kid on the right path to finding something they will have a fulfilling life. EasyLeadership.com.
All right, Major League Baseball. They're going into the last year of their collective bargaining agreement. A lot of people are angry. I'm not going to say I'm angry, but I'm a little frustrated. There's one team that's going to cause either a lockout or what I've been saying needs to happen for years is a salary cap, and that is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They just agreed with Kyle Tucker. You're familiar. We're familiar with Kyle Tucker around these parts. He's a former Astro. He's the latest addition. Signed a 4-year, $240 million deal. I'm going to talk about these contracts here in a second, but essentially, over the current contracts that they've committed, they have $2.1 billion invested in their roster over the course of their contracts. Over $400 million being paid out next season. The Marlins, the Rays, the Guardians, and the White Sox are all right around $100 million on their payroll, and some of those are under $100 million. And so you have two things here. One, the Dodgers at a minimum are going to be in the playoffs. I don't know if the World Series is a foregone conclusion, but I would say they're going to be in the playoffs. They can withstand an injury here or there. Other teams can't do that. But when you have a team spending 4 times as much as other teams, that's a problem. And,
you think?
And so what you need to establish as Major League Baseball, and I think the owners are finally at that point where they're willing to die on this hill, is there needs to be a floor on spending, which I would say that probably needs be about $150 million. And you need to have a cap, which probably needs to be around $250 million, would be my guess. So I'm just throwing those figures out there just based off of my rudimentary knowledge of salary caps. But what the Dodgers are doing, listen to these contracts. Shohei Ohtani signed it in 2024. It ends in 2033, by the way. 10-year contract worth $700 million. Now, the other thing that the Dodgers are doing is deferring a lot of this money down the road. So what they're paying out this year, they're not paying Shohei $70 million this year. They're paying him like 31 or 37 million, somewhere in there. And they're deferring the rest, kind of like the Bobby Bonilla deal, where he gets $1 million for like 30 years after his contract ended or whatever. But then you got Mookie Betts, who had a 12-year deal starting in 2021, $365 million. Yamamoto, the pitcher from Japan, 12 years, $325 million. Kyle Tucker just signed his 4 years, $240 million, which is $60 million a year on average, by the way, for an outfielder who his skills have eroded. Blake Snell, the pitcher, 5 years, $182 million. Freddie Freeman, $162. Will Smith, $140. Tyler Glasnow, $136. Oh, we're finally under $100 million contracts. 10 guys down the list. And that's 74, 72, 69, 66, 24, 22. It's freaking insane is what this is.
What I want to know is baseball stadiums aren't full. They aren't packed to the rim. Where the hell does all this money come from? Because my thing is, baseball ain't racking it in like football is.
Well, the viewership of baseball has gone up the last year or two with them. The pitch clock has really helped shorten games. That was a big thing, that games were too long. And stadiums are, they're not filled to capacity every single game for every single team, but
still $1 billion for a roster?
2.1 billion.
$1 billion from freaking Dr. Evil? $2
$2
billion?
billion. Yeah, it's insane. So Major League Baseball needs to get it in check, and it's time to have a salary cap and a salary floor. Like, you can't have one team spending $80 million and another team spending over $400 million. It's just, it's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
No, because it's the other teams know they have no chance. They have no chance.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that's just goofy.
All right, moving on to our next segment, sports pet peeves. This is where we attack parts of sports that just kind of get on our nerves. And my first sports pet peeve is celebrating after every effing tackle you make, whether it's a 5-yard gain or a 1-yard loss, or, you know, if you saw us celebrate a sack or but the receiver beat you on the route and you tackled him and you're all like, oh, I locked him up or whatever. Shut up. Be quiet. You just did your job. You know, same thing after every shot made in basketball now. Someone's got to do something. You know, if you make every time you make a three, this is my biggest thing I hated as a coach. High school basketball was them throwing up the threes or whatever, or the guns or whatever. You know, it just stop celebrating because you did what you were supposed to do. I can't stand that shit.
Well, all right. You know, let's see. My pet peeve is going to be along those same lines. The guys who know they just committed a fucking penalty, and yet they look at the ref like, what? What? Me? What? Are you blind? What? When they know they've committed the penalty. There's no question. Like grabbing a face mask and pulling the dude's his head around. And they're like, what? Terrible call. What? What?
You mean Luka Doncic after everything he does?
Own up to it. Huh?
You mean like Luka does to the refs every time a foul gets called?
Okay, I wasn't talking about basketball. We can get into that. The freaking floppity flipping flap crap. It's one of the reasons I just have a hard time getting back into basketball, because it's turned into this diva league of everybody complaining about shit. They just go play a damn game and shut up. Shut up, dude.
Yeah. Shut up, dude. Which is our next segment, but we're not there yet. It would have been a perfect segue if I would have talked about my last pet peeve first. This goes to Carson Beck, the quarterback of Miami, who hasn't taken a college class in 2 years, but somehow he's still a college football player. How the hell does that work? Well, yeah, it's money, but this whole system in college athletics needs to be revamped and fixed. And this is just the latest thing about it, is you're either make them professional athletes at that level, which they essentially are, and take out their academic requirements, because they're, you know, half of them get grades just given to them, or they're taking like television or some bullshit class like that. There's a lot of good players out there that legitimately go to school because there's a lot of them who use it to, you know, because they're not going to be NFL players. You know, I'm not knocking all players, but Carson Beck not going to school for 2 years, but he's played football the last 2 years. That just makes no damn sense. So, all right. Well, you predicated it. Shut up, dude. So, my first dude, well, this is the only segment on this. The first dude is Laney Buss, the owner of the LA Lakers. Well, the governor, whatever. They use BS language. The owner or former owner of the Lakers, because she sold the team, but she's going to be the owner for the next 3 years, or leading the franchise the next 3 years, whatever. I don't know if you've seen this. But she's complaining about LeBron James on how his ego got too big, and Clutch Sports, his agency, has too much influence in the basketball world and within her organization, and that LeBron wasn't very grateful that they actually drafted Bronny James when everyone said he wasn't an NBA player, which he still isn't. You made your bed. You made a deal with the devil. Shut up, dude. Stop complaining, Janie Buss. I don't want to hear that shit. Go away with that garbage.
I don't know. I kind of like the fact that she's saying the truth. I think you got to handle the truth. The truth is, LeBron is a whining bitch who wants his way about everything. And he's the one who needs to shut up, dude. First off, your time has passed. Retire. Get away. Go away. Nobody wants to hear you talking about politics or any other freaking thing. I've seen how he treats fans too. You know, in the game, he'll do things when he knows the damn camera's on him, but when he knows there's or thinks there's not a camera on him, he's an asshole. You don't see Shaq like that. Shaq genuinely cares about people and fans. And that era of those type of players, of Duncan, of Shaq, of Ginobili, all these guys who played the game when it wasn't a bunch of whiny ass bitches that now play basketball. That's what they are. All they do is complain. And yeah, this whole segment to the NBA and all you whiny ass flopping bitches who are out there playing. Yeah, you could kick my ass. Yep, you could. But shut up, dudes, because you suck. That's why I like the WNBA more, because at least they go out there and the bitches pull each other's hair and throw each other down. At least they're out there fighting. They ain't flopping like you whiny ass bitches.
Wow, I did not see that coming. That is, we're clipping that damn thing. That's going in the intros. Whiny ass bitches, for sure. But so Janie Buss had an issue with his outsized ego, and how LeBron was considered a savior of the franchise, lacked accountability over the Westbrook trade and his influence, mused around not giving him a contract extension and even trading him, and felt like, and then essentially begrudgingly gave him the contract extension because she felt like she was put in a corner with that. So, but at the end of the day, you brought him to LA. You got your asterisk fucking, quote unquote championship in the bubble. You know, I put that one right there with the 99 Spurs one in the shortened season. But I know you're going to argue against that one, but it is what it is. But yeah, you made your bed. Shut up, dude. Like you made your bed with LeBron. You got in it full-heartedly, and now you're complaining because you're bitter. So shut up, dude. All right, let's go ahead and hit our last commercial, and then we're going to do our last segment before our last segment, called "Whatever Happened to."
Have you heard of the DISC communication tool? Yes, most people in business have. But there is a new tool out there that is tailored for leadership teams. It is called the DISC Work of Leaders and focuses on 3 main areas: vision, alignment, and execution. This amazing assessment is not just a game changer. It is a business strategy necessity if you want to create sustainability. Let's be honest, a lot of executives spend many hours in HR dealing with people issues, and that happens because of reactive leadership. If you are sitting in HR trying to figure out what happened after the fact, then you are not able to concentrate on running your department or business, and it steals your time. Email us or call. It's free to talk about it and learn how to become proactive in your leadership. Big or small, we have a plan to build on your strengths and an action plan for your challenges. Join Eddie Schedule, our CEO and founder, for a quick video on what a report does for you. Head over to our website and scroll down to see this amazing video of the Disc Work of Leaders tool. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.
All right, easyleadership.com. It's free to talk. Give us a call. Got lots of assessments and lots of new tools to help you with your leadership team.
All right. Our last segment before our last segment, whatever happened to? And if you recognize it, by the way, you need to go on rants more often. Our viewership like tripled when you went on that rant. Well done, old man. Well done. Feel free to comment, folks. Throw your things in the comment. But as a matter of fact, if you are going to comment, who is this? Whatever happened to this player? If you can name that player before I name him here in a second. Played for UCLA, linebacker. Went to Jacksonville, drafted pretty high. I think the Cowboys actually entertained taking him. He was when was he drafted? He was drafted in 2016, actually, by Jacksonville. So, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Miles Jack. Had a pretty good pro career. And we just kind of, you have these players come in the league, make a, somewhat of an impact. And it was just like, whatever happened to this guy? Whatever happened to Miles Jack? And so Miles Jack actually in October 2023 bought the Allen Americans with his mom. Now, you may not be familiar with the Allen Americans, but that is an ECHL hockey team up north of Dallas. Yes. So he became the first minority owner of an ECHL team. So I thought that was pretty cool. He last played in the league with the Steelers in 2023, came out of retirement with them, and then retired after that season. So, but the latest news on Miles Jack, what happened to him on December 17th, 2025 in Frisco, Texas. He is facing felony charges of deadly conduct for discharge of a firearm during a welfare check. So he is in jail, unfortunately.
That was not a happy story. I mean, what you got to have where are they now? That's like those child stars that are out on the freaking street. We were like, oh, cool. He bought a hockey team. That's really cool. Oh, he's in fucking jail because he tried to kill somebody. Well, you just threw us off the cliff, just like Josh Allen does.
Hey, stop that.
And you just threw us off the cliff.
Oh, man. Stop that garbage with comparing everything back to the Bills. Holy crap.
Always and forever.
So, all right. Well, coming towards the end of the show here. Randoms tidbits. No one tried to guess the whiskey of the week, which you could have won a bottle of whatever's in here. So, I guess I'm safe again. I don't have to reveal. Actually, I am going to reveal what's in it because I'm going to drink the rest of that. And don't mind the bottles clanking. Oh, yep, here it is. Monkey shoulders, what's in the canter. So you could have had a bottle of monkey shoulders on the way to your place right now on my dime. But it is monkey shoulder. We'll have a different one in that canter next week. So any randoms and tidbits?
Well, I lost you for a second. You got all garbled. I don't know. I guess it was my internet connection. But any tidbits? No, I'm more about. Oh, well, I'll tell you a tidbit. We didn't talk about hockey, but good gracious, the Stars dismantled the Bruins the other night. I turned it on. Hey, Stars game. It was already 4-0 going into the third period. They scored 3 goals in the third period. They beat the shit out of the Bruins. dismantled them. And so good on you, Stars. Keep it up. We're going to get back into hockey some more now that football's starting to come to an end, and baseball is ridiculous. And I know you'll want to talk about NBA some, but
Yeah, now football is kind of winding down. We'll like other shows, we'll be picking up our NBA coverage, college basketball, Major League Baseball, obviously spring training until February, but as well as hockey. So we're both big hockey fans as well. So so a random here. I don't know if you saw, you know Michelle Tafoya, right?
Yeah, she's running for
Senate.
Senator?
Senate for Minnesota. Out of it. So thought that was interesting. A little sports story right there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Oh, by the way, Al Harris is interviewing for the Commanders' defensive coordinator job.
That's so easy. I mean, Dan Quinn's still going to be the dang running the defense. So that's like the easiest thing, and that's probably the easiest job in the world as a defensive coordinator. All you got to be is a rah-rah guy.
Maybe a little more than that, but all right. Well, if there's no questions or little things thrown in the comments, I think we're pretty much wrapped up. So we appreciate y'all listening, watching. You come across them, make sure you follow us on our X accounts. I'm at Coach Schedule. He's at Easy Eddie, as well as follow Prime Cover Sports Network, which we're a part of. On YouTube, it's at Prime. You can see it on the ticker down below us. But Facebook, Prime Cover Sports Network. Instagram, Prime Cover Sports Network. The X account is at PCNS Media. So, and a lot of shows we're adding to the fam. I think I saw a few more today actually get added. So we're growing. We're excited, and we're trying to make PCSN where you go to for all your sports. So not just entertainment, but info. If you catch our graphics, one, they're pretty legit, and two, we're one of the fastest people to report the news going on in sports. So, so it's about all I got. You got anything else?
Nope. That is all she wrote.
All right.
Make sure you write Josh a letter. Tell him how much you're disappointed in him again.
Well, I'm just going to be honest. You're being a whiny little bitch right now.
Same old devil down the same old dead-end highway. Riding that storm run through my veins like a shot-down tailspin airplane. Scared of nothing and I'm scared to death. I can't breathe and I catch my breath. But I keep chasing that same old devil down the same old dead-end.